Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. We are back at the homestead, and good to be home. Don't get me wrong. Wish I was still in Santa Rosa, Florida, and hanging out on the beach in a beautiful place with a lot going on, but it's always good to come back to. So, uh, got up this morning and so before we get started, full disclosure, I'm awaiting a phone call. And so the show may very abruptly end if my phone rings. So, just as an FYI. Um, um, got back last evening and thank goodness. So I didn't tell you this, but slipped the disc last week on Thursday before we went to the beach. So Friday was just a day in the car with an aching back, and then carrying Drew around. So I was in a lot of pain the whole time we were there. Thank God, someone canceled with Crystal Poche this morning at 8 a.m. And so I got up and went there and went to Restored Motions. Big shout out. Almost missed my appointment, however, because I set my alarm on my phone, left my phone in the kitchen. So thank goodness my body clock woke me up at 7:30. So, well, I woke up at like 5 something and then went back to sleep and then got up 7:30, made it just in time. So anyway, big shout out. Crystal Poche, Restored Motions, feeling so much better. So book a session. If you have pain, she will take you out of it. Okay. We'll say some good mornings. As you see there in the description, Paul Skenes named National Player of the Year by Collegiate Baseball Magazine. Of course, there is a National Pitcher of the Year award, which Paul Skenes absolutely will win. What is going to be interesting as the awards are divvied out here in this postseason, will Skenes or Cruz win National Player of the Year from the various organizations, and no doubt they will both win them. The big one, of course, is going to be the Golden Spikes Award, but Collegiate Baseball has named Paul Skenes the National Player of the Year. He's just the third LSU player ever to be named Collegiate Baseball National Player of the Year. Ben McDonald won it in '89. Lloyd Peaver won it in 1992. Shout out Lloyd Peaver. A lot of people forget about the amazing season Peaver had in '92 when he was an undefeated starting pitcher. But that '92 team, of course, was a year after LSU won its first national championship in '91 and before the '93 championship. So the '92 team kind of gets lost a little bit, as a lot of teams do that don't that don't win a national championship, which is just the standard here. But yeah, so McDonald 89, Peaver 92. It's been 30 years. It's been 31 years since LSU has had the National Player of the Year from Collegiate Baseball Magazine. So anyway, Skenes was fantastic this year, 10-2 with a 1.89 ERA. The 2 losses, I mean, put a giant asterisk next to them both, but whatever. And he trails only Ben McDonald on the all-time strikeout list. So Skenes has 167 strikeouts. Ben McDonald's record is 202. So he is 35 away. He's going to need to get to Omaha, basically. If they get to Omaha, he'll break Ben McDonald's record. But if not, he's going to come up short. Okay. So the accolades for Skenes: SEC Pitcher of the Year, and we're going to see him win many more accolades as well. Now National Player of the Year from Collegiate Baseball. So exciting times, and regional play starts tomorrow at the box. All right, let's say some good mornings. Oh, by the way, Skenes named National Player of the Year, but Dylan Cruz, Paul Skenes, Tommy White, all named first team All-Americans by Collegiate Baseball. So Cruz, whose batting average is now at 420, is ranked 7th nationally in batting average. So where he did lead the country for much of the year, his recent slump, has dipped him to 420, so he's 7th overall. Of course, we just talked about Skenes, and then Tommy White, his 91 RBI this season. That's second in the nation in RBI per games. He's number 3 in total RBI. He's got the 5th highest RBI total in a single season in LSU history, and not done yet. So, a lot still to come here, man. Excited about it. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Kelly Crow's, Bubba Tatum. Was Bucky's. We did not stop at Bucky's. Larry and the boys did. For those that don't know, we did an in-transit edition of Morning Scone yesterday, driving home from the beach. And Erica's sister, Lauren, is affectionately known as, or jokingly known as, Larry to the family. She's the son that Barry never had. There's 3 daughters. So Larry had her son Eli, who many of you met, and 2 of his friends, and they stopped at Bucky's. We continued on. Let's see. Michael Thacker, good morning. Try some Elijah Craig small batch on the beach in Florida. What a good pour. Elijah Craig small batch is fantastic. On the beach in Florida is ambitious, however, because it is not really whiskey drinking weather, man. Drink whiskey on the beach is something. I mean, unless were you drinking it neat or rocks, I'm curious. Rocks, maybe probably a little more bearable. But still, whew, I'm a tequila on the beach guy. Ryan Dixon, Scone, waiting for a phone call for a Weller. I was not waiting on Weller. No, I'm not waiting on Weller. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Cody Smith, oh, what's up, CJ? Good morning. So if you're watching on Facebook, you'll see Cody Smith there. Say good morning. It's CJ. So CJ is Eli's friend who was at the beach with us. Good to meet you over at the beach, man. Enjoyed getting to hang out with y'all. Hope. So whoever just asked about Bucky's, CJ would be the person to ask there. How was Bucky's? Trivia Carter, Cliff Nelson, good morning. Jason H, good morning from the barbershop. Workflow, like it. Jeff Hawk, good morning, my dude. What's going on, man? Nick Newbill, good morning. Ready for some baseball? Me too, man. I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm ready for regionals to get underway. I'm glad I got the day off. Even though we're home, I'm taking off today and tomorrow as well. I'll be back on air Monday, but I'll just sit around and watch baseball all day tomorrow. LSU starts at 2 o'clock. Really looking forward to it. And having a good weekend. We are trying, by the way, to confirm if we're going to do whiskey and wine on Saturday. We're just waiting for a thumbs up from Don Juan. Tried to put those wheels in motion over the last couple of days, and I think they just got to make a decision. All the particular parties have to make a. T-Bob's willing, I'm willing. We just got to get Don Juan to give the thumbs up that they're going to go ahead and do it. So. Let's see. Jesse Brown, good morning. Thoughts on the Saints signing tight end Jesse James? He was a productive player in Pittsburgh. Let's see. Now, hold on. And admittedly, when I'm on vacation, I miss stuff. Are you asking, should they sign him? Or they did sign him. Okay, they signed him last night. Okay. So this is really interesting to me. And he's one of the players we talked about, right? Because they brought him in for a workout. And this was before they signed Foster Moreau. My guess, don't know this, again, just a little out of the loop right now. My guess with Jesse James, who's 28, and again, they brought him in for workouts. We talked about it then, and I liked the possibility of it then, but I like Foster Moreau much better. The Saints, I think they're just short on numbers at tight end. So if you remember, Joel Wilson was the undrafted free agent tight end that the Saints signed out of Central Michigan. Well, hi! What are you doing? You want to come say hi to Dad's show? You want to come? Drew? There you go. Go. Anyway, so remember the Saints did not draft a tight end, but then they signed Joel Wilson as an undrafted free agent. And that was before they signed Foster Moreau, because we know Foster had his cancer diagnosis and there was some uncertainty there what all was going to transpire. Ultimately, they did sign him. I think what you're probably looking at is a situation where you got Juwan Johnson as your pass catcher. Taysom Hill is listed as a tight end, but let's be clear, like he's not actually going to play like a true tight end position. But even still. And then you got Foster. Okay. So those are those are the guys you're really going to count on in that spot. After that, it's Miller Forrestall, who's the undrafted free agent out of Bama. Lucas Kroll, remember, who was the undrafted free agent a year ago out of Pitt. And then you were going to have Joel Wilson. Well, Joel Wilson didn't pass his physical. So I think it's literally just a thing where you have a 90-man roster going into camp and you were going to be short a man. And I also just look at so many years in this offense where the Saints always had the pass-catching tight end, and then they had depth at that position with guys like Josh Hill or Hooman or Ben Watson. So they could, in theory, carry three with Juwan, Foster, of course, and maybe Jesse James. Like, that's a possibility as well. And he is a big tight end. I remember this because we talked about him when he worked out. He was 6'7", 260. He's played for Pittsburgh, Chicago, Detroit, I believe, if I have that right. Was a really productive player, kind of like had an injury situation. Yeah, here you go. That's right. So productive player, Pittsburgh, 2 years in Detroit, 1 year in Chicago, and then last year signed with Cleveland, only played in 2 games. Had a foot injury, so 28 years old, but didn't really play last year coming off a foot injury. So a player they liked even before they signed Foster, so if that gives you depth at tight end, cool. Let's see. Michael Thacker was on the condo balcony after dark, nice and cool at that time. Now that, my friend, is certainly the right play. Condo balcony with a stogie and a whiskey, I can do that at night. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Brandon Piku, Matt, aren't you on vacation? I am. We were at the beach, just rolled back into Baton Rouge last night, yesterday evening, and off today and tomorrow from work. Just took the whole week. So we left for the beach last Friday. So we're at the beach Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Drove home Wednesday, and now I'm just gonna relax today and tomorrow, and then we'll be back on air Monday. Jamie Leday, good morning. Yeah, back on air Monday. So, however, if Don Juan bites on whiskey and wine, I will go to Don Juan on Saturday night with T-Bob to do whiskey and wine after the LSU baseball game, which we hope is the marble game of the regional. Let's see, Joel Ensminger, James, good morning. Jason H., the Saints need all these tight ends. Well, remember, you have a 90-man roster. Ultimately, you're going to pare it down to 53. So you certainly know the numbers you need at positions. So are all of the tight ends going to make the roster? No. Will you have the option maybe to stash someone on the practice squad in case of an injury? Or sure. So yes, I mean you bring them in. And with the practice squad rules changing, whereby you can have a limited number of veterans on the practice squad, great. I mean, that's what you did last year with Latavius Murray, married prison. And then when you needed him to play, you signed him to the active roster. James, 94 days till kickoff. I love that you counted down, James. I love that you're in, man. Shout out to Brock, y'all. As always, you need North Peace, go to Brock, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Y'all, Hudco's pinned in the chat. Today, officially, first day of hurricane season. Y'all, don't wait for a storm. Please, I'm telling you, please don't wait for a storm. Give us a shout. Let us come give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. You don't have to be home. Just click the link, fill out the form on the homepage. Take you 30 seconds. It's basically just permission to have someone come to your house and get on your roof. You don't even have to be home. You don't have to let anybody in. You basically just walk it, mark, see if there's damage. If there's damage, great. Or if there's damage, if there's not damage, great. We'll shake your hand, be on our way. If there is damage, we can help file the claim, get your roof repaired, replaced, whatever the case may be. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Eugene Sutherland, good morning, Matt, from beautiful downtown Philadelphia. Cannot wait till tomorrow, Christmas for baseball heads. Okay. Yeah, man. Regionals start tomorrow. It's going to be good. Carrie Hughes, good morning. Having vertigo symptoms. May have to fly from Chicago to see Crystal. Carrie literally just got back from... This is maybe the biggest compliment that I could pay Crystal. Like, if I slip a disc and you tell me, Matt, you can either go to the doctor to get medicine, or you can go to Crystal, I would say send me to Crystal immediately. I would teleport my body there. Cajun Country, got to get E-Rock to produce the show more often. I know Blake Money will not start Friday, but I really would like to see that. LSU should be able to hit their way through Tulane. Tulane hasn't announced their starter yet. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I was on the wrong link. My apologies. Sorry. They haven't named their starter yet, I don't believe. Anyway, I haven't gotten so normally we will get you are required to announce your starter for the game. And normally we will get a media packet game preview, which will have the starting pitching matchup. So Ricky Castro and Dylan Carmouche are their two starters. Carmouche is from Baton Rouge, he pitched at U-High. He's a lefty. I don't know which direction they're going to go. It might be Carmouche. Whatever Tulane does, it'll be very different than when LSU played Tulane earlier this year. If you remember, LSU played Tulane at Turchin a couple of months back, and Tulane just kind of split up the game. Like, they had a different pitcher every inning. Like, I think they might have. Let me see. I'll find it. I think they might have actually used 9 pitchers. Hang on. Let's see. Here you go. Yeah. No. Here you go. Okay. So Tulane used. Yeah. Gavin Smith for an inning. Grant Clevenger for an inning. Christian Sanchez for an inning. Brian Valagoski for an inning. Jonah Wachter went an inning and a third. Taylor Montiel went 2/3 of an inning. Billy Price went an inning. Chandler Welch went an inning. Michael Fowler went 2/3 of an inning, and then Thomas Lane went a third of an inning. They used 10 pitchers. So they just kind of broke up. The last time LSU played Tulane, they basically just broke it up and threw a different pitcher every inning. They're most certainly not going to do that. I'll be interested if they throw Dylan Carmouche. He's a Baton Rouge guy. Went to U-High. He's a lefty. He's a good player. To your point though, Cajun Country, I don't think they'll throw Blake Money. I think they'll throw. I believe they're going to throw Thatcher Hurd, and I think they should throw Thatcher Hurd. I think you throw Hurd, game 1, you should win behind Hurd. You have Skenes going in the marble game against either Oregon State or Sam Houston. You should win behind Skenes. If you do that, then you've got Ty Floyd ready to go to punch your ticket to the Super Regional. And if you lose, then you've got Ty Floyd ready to save your season, which I think is the approach that you have to take. Ryan DeLon, morning Matt, was looking at LSU prior regional history. It's incredible. LSU hosted a regional 15 straight years in the 90s and 2000s. Yeah, but you got to remember, Ryan, yes, they were incredibly consistent, but those are the days of the 6-team regionals. And those were regional bids that went out based on things like attendance and ticket sales. It was not a merit-based thing. Regionals were not merit-based at the time. So that changed when they went to the super regional format in 1999. So yes, I mean, LSU's consistency under Skip Bertman was incredible. I'm not minimizing that in any way, but regionals at the time were not It was not a merit-based thing. Let's see. Jason H. Matt, see the new helmets. Thoughts on LSU helmets with AC in them? I'm assuming it's the Tiger Air product. I mean, I've seen the thing the prototypes they've been working on for a long time now. So yes, I mean, I think it's a cool feature. Absolutely. Gregory Gordy, Ryan DeLon. Are we getting whiskey and wine Saturday night? Still waiting on a final. Still waiting on a final verdict. Gregory Gordy. Wendell Norman, Cliff Nelson. Ways couldn't find Bucky. I didn't know there was such Waze hate. That's what Erica used. I always use Waze. I don't like Google Maps, and I didn't know there was such Waze disdain until yesterday. David, starting 9 for LSU on Friday if lefty Carmouche is pitching for Tulane. Yeah, so I think either way, I think Travinsky's going to catch. I think Milazzo will catch. Game 2 will catch Skenes. It's pretty clear they just have Milazzo catching Skenes. So I think Travinsky will catch. I think the real question is, do you want Pearson in the lineup? And Pearson is a lefty, but Jay seems to want Pearson in the lineup. So if he does, then I think what you do is you put Joe Bear in left, Pearson in right, and Morgan goes back to first base, and then you DH Beloso, who I get it as a lefty, but they favored him over Jones at this point. Maybe Jay plays a hunch and likes Jones in this spot because you're not facing like a big dominant SEC arm. But I mean, I'm not opposed to getting an extra bat in the lineup and DHing Jones it's basically, do you want Jones? I think it comes down to this. Because Joe Bear is going to be in the lineup, either at left field or right field. It's really, do you want Pearson or Jones? And my guess is Jay's going to go Pearson. Because I think Travinsky's going to catch. Now, if Milazzo were catching, it's a different story because then you're DHing Travinsky. But I think Travinsky catches. I think Pearson's in right, Joe Bear's in left, which means Morgan plays first, and I think you DH below. So I think you go with the experience. Ronnie Duke guy, good morning. Went to Brock to see Dr. Field. Humerus bone healing well, good. Cortisone shot for the swelling PT in the future. All right, Ronnie. Well, glad you're on the mend. Thank you for choosing Brock. Of course, we love our friends over at Brock. Dr. Field's great, of course. But Drew broke his humerus as well. It was up here, right? Isn't this your humerus? This is your humerus bone? Not here, right? This is your humerus. If I'm not mistaken. Drew broke his up here by the shoulder. Also went to Brock. Saw Dr. Collada. Antron Hemingway, good morning. Eugene Sutherland, Matt, who you got coming out of the Lexington Regional? Yeah, man, I lean Kentucky at home, but Kentucky just can't pitch it very well. I think Indiana has had a good year. I have little respect at all for the Big 12, but West Virginia might actually be the best team in that regional. So, coin flip, I'd probably just take. I mean, Kentucky just did not play well down the stretch. They are at home. That's a turf field, so they kind of have a weird advantage there. Reluctantly, I'll say Kentucky, but very, very, very little level of confidence with that. Joel Ensminger, always have been curious, are you owner of Hudco? Yeah, Joel, I've always been transparent about this. I've talked about it all the time. So I'm not the sole owner, but I am a partner in Hudco. So that's kind of how we structured things. For many, many years, I endorsed Premier South, great company. And Terrio and Richard Tilley. Hudco's been around for 20 years, operating out of Bossier. and in sort of an effort to expand and all, like Terrio and Tilly had an ownership opportunity in Hudco, and they brought me along to help them market it, essentially. So I own a very small piece of Hudco. Yes. So that's what I would say, man. You want help? Like, email me. Matt@hudcoroofing.com. I can help facilitate for you. You know, more than happy to do whatever I can in that respect. Yeah. So it's not just a paid endorsement. It's, you know, put my name on it. I'm happy to, man. People are great. You know, Jeff and Sherry Hudson, who have owned Hudco for 2 decades in North Louisiana, and then of course Ryan and Richard Tilley here, and it's an amazing group of people, man, that are super smart and just tons of experience in every different facet of really of construction, but certainly of roofing, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing partnership. It's been a great decision for me, certainly, but an amazing partnership. Cliff Nelson, when will you let us know if Don Juan is a go? I promise you, Cliff, you will know. We got to know today because we got to be able to promote it. So we'll certainly post it on social media, and I'll send it out via the text line as well. Eugene, feeling strong run rule vibes for our Tigers tomorrow. Would love to see that. That'd be great. Tara Westbrook, morning, Matt from Hawaii. Hard to catch you live because of the time difference, but got up early. Welcome back. Hope you had an awesome vacation. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that. And good morning and by the way, shout out to Hawaii. And by the way, Eugene, also, I don't know that I need to check to see if the run rule is in place for regionals. I don't know that it is. Let me check that real quick. You know what? Eugene, I need to make a phone call. I need to make a phone call to see if I can get that answer. Because I don't think the run rule is in play for regionals in the postseason. I think you got to get all 27 outs. Let me make sure, though, because I'm not 100% positive on that. Cliff, if LSU wins the regional, will they host Super? Yes. So remember, LSU is a national seed. That's the big push is you got to make sure you're one of the top 8 national seeds. If you're a top 8 national seed and you advance past your regional, you host the Super. So if LSU advances, they will host the Super. Ronnie Duga, I can't do whiskey and wine split screens like the old days at the house. Surely someone would sponsor. I mean, Ronnie, we could do that. But man, if we have a chance to go to Don Juan, I'm going to Don Juan. Gasly Gamer, Weston Weaver. Let's see. Ronnie, mine was fractured upper arm under the shoe. Got it. Michael Castello, good morning. Eugene, I feel like that Hudco question means this would be a legit time for the Hudco jingle. Okay. Hey, you know what? You want the Hudco jingle? You get the Hudco jingle.